Welcome back to Deep Dive. It's the show where y'all send us, again, reminder, this is your fault. You send us movies, bad, polarizing, somewhere in between, and we try to find the good in them no matter what.
What are we watching today?
We're watching Brotherhood of the Wolf. Hi, Mikey. Who can resist a French martial arts adventure with a touch of Iron Chef? I'm intrigued.
À la cuisine!
Not I, and hopefully not you and the crew. Enjoy!
This movie could be incredible. I've heard great things. I was a teenager when I saw it, and it did not strike me as great.
Yes, a different man watched that from me, and so now I'm going to experience it, and who knows?
This movie was chosen by y'all on Patreon, so if you would like an opportunity to vote for the movies we get to watch here on this couch, subscribe.
And if you have movies you would like to send, especially movies you dislike strongly, send them to us, send them to this P.O. box, and maybe we'll watch it on the couch when people vote for the movies we put in there.
Welcome to Deep Dive.
So that was basically the opening to Jaws, right? Like identically, right?
Effectively.
Just grabbed by the legs.
You'll be scared to go in the field again.
Yeah.
Okay. We are watching Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Brotherhood of the Wolf.
We're, I guess, a third of the way in. This one's a slow burn.
It has all been exposition, meet this incredibly large cast of characters, and you're gonna have every single person's name and their relationship to each other, and hear the politics going on.
Yeah.
Is there gonna be a quiz on this? Because we just met like 10
that's
people.
A lot. Because it's set in like 1764 or whatever, you're seeing a battle between like the church and enlightenment and science, and that's kind of getting wrapped up in werewolf intrigue.
Right, and also the like rural province versus city Paris.
Yeah.
Like there's like,
the word revolution has been thrown around.
I did not like this movie when I saw it. So that's why we okayed the vote, because I hated this movie in the theater, because I was bored, and they crossfaded a boob into a mountain. And that is essentially...
They did do that.
They did do
Spoilers, that did in fact happen. I saw it.
Oh my gosh!
It's so bad.
This is where the Shakira lyric came from. So you don't confuse them with mountains.
But yeah, I think I was like bored, and it was a little too French for like 16-year-old me, maybe.
Sure, and like French cinema definitely is different than American cinema. So far, I do kind of get it. It's a little slow.
It is beautiful and slow.
Yes.
There's a giant wolf.
Or the beast. Capital B, capital B
with
beast.
a capital B in the subtitles. That is wreaking havoc. And we meet two traveling folks, a naturalist and Manny.
Who's the Iroquois tribesman from America.
With collars that are this high.
Oh my god.
Okay.
100%.
Tell me that's not Bloodbourne.
When Sam said this is basically Dark Souls, he was not kidding.
Yeah, its Bloodbourne rating is off the charts.
Yeah.
They claim they've been sent by the king. I don't know if I buy that quite yet. And the people of this area certainly don't inherently trust them, but they kind of have to go along with their word just in case they really are from the king. They have this one ally, the Marquis, who is actually the one telling this story. We started the movie during the revolution. He's like frantically trying to write down this story before they like come and behead him, I guess.
Our two boys show up looking for the beast that has hunted multiple women at this
and children. They go to meet some high-ranking politician, royal.
It's hard to tell.
Whoever is like overseeing the land, because they're there to hunt the beast, and this has been an ongoing issue for a while, it seems.
They're 0-40 with the beast.
Yeah, the beast is definitely winning. We do meet this beautiful one who is also nobility of some sort, who appearance is not lost on our naturalist friend, who has a surprising amount of game.
Pour l'instant, je n'ai plus qu'en entrevoir les beautés. Tout du moins une.
Oh, smooth.
She is the daughter of the Count. Is the guy with one hand her brother? He's a
So they're
jerk.
brothers. Well,
Yeah.
Vince Cassel.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Je ne suis pas de bon goût.
They go out on a hunt, which turns out to just be a wolf slaughter.
Yeah, which makes both the naturalist and Manny visibly
Kinda uncomfortable.
uncomfortable. There was a scene in that kind of Templar ruin where the Countess tries to take a really clear shot and the naturalist lifts her gun up like, no.
Because Manny's tribe believes that every single person has a animal totem. Manny's is a wolf.
Oh,
But
that's awkward.
Right, exactly.
We get a lot of exposition, and then we end up at a brothel.
Okay.
Oh, it's the naughty party. We're in a real Eyes Wide Shut situation here.
And they meet Sylvia.
Sylvia.
Who seems to be the super high class escort.
Yeah.
She's got her own room. She's doing
she's playing cards. It's fantastic.
She does a whole
the
thing.
Jewels.
Yes.
There's a lot of intrigue in Our Lady, but also some interesting courtship methods. Oh,
You have to ask before bringing knives into the bedroom.
was that negotiated beforehand?
While this scene could seem gratuitous, and it very much is, I think they're setting up Monica Bellucci to be an interesting, pivotal character.
The fight choreography is amazing. Yo!
Where did that leg even come from?
With Mark Dacascos, you never know.
I want to see more face making in fight scenes.
So far, they've beat up and injured more people than the wolf has, and do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the acrobat fight. The reason I say acrobatic is because women will come in and cartwheel together, and there are backflips involved.
Women wearing pants.
That's true.
Which is
and
not
fighting very well. But so far, it's a beautiful film. The writing is very fun and witty. I do find it interesting. This is loosely based on true stories, right?
But a beast haunting a village.
Yeah, exactly.
I was also Tales old as time.
Yeah.
It's the editing that's getting me. That's the only thing that is holding me back so far.
Yeah.
There is something about the 2000-2001 era movie editing where it's a lot of that sped up footage.
Stop crossfading for no reason.
The costuming is so sumptuous, and the color saturation, and obviously with a movie with all of this bloodshed, go ahead and lean in.
The good hats continue.
Yes, a parade of good hats.
This photography is
Right?
once in a lifetime kind
And
of stuff.
all practical.
Look how flat the focus is, because you can make out the dude fore back.
Oh yeah.
I love all the red. There's so much red.
Like blood. But now we are transferring into the winter because the hunt for the beast has continued with no luck. Awoo!
It's snack time!
Yeah.
Today we have
Oreo.
What's in the middle? The
Toffee
white
crunch.
stuff.
it's
Yes.
toffee flavored cream, artificially flavored with sugar crystals.
This
Oh,
smells
boy.
exactly like the butterscotch chips.
This is very Bath and Body Works right now.
Yeah.
Pleasant.
I actually like these Oreos.
They're good.
I would love to dip this in coffee.
That would be profound.
What I think is interesting is they taste chocolatier than usual because of the toffee cream.
Yeah. It's a little sweet. It's a little cloying for my taste.
I will say though, since I've had a baby, I just like sweet tooth out the roof. So I'm just like, oh yeah, sugar crystals? Let's go. All right.
Brotherhood, do you remember anything that happened? Perfect. we start still with like a lot of intrigue about the nature of this beast.
Yeah.
It's winter, they haven't been able to stop it yet.
So everyone's at church to like commemorate the dead, I think.
Croyez-vous vraiment que nous sommes au temps de la raison?
The room is filled of candles.
Not going great.
No, it's really not great for this particular area of France.
This church meeting is interrupted by a man whose children have
gone missing.
They've gone missing,
Yes.
and we have previously seen them they have been attacked by the beast. So everyone rallies, goes on a hunt through the snowstorm, and they find a young boy who's been mauled to death. So the beast isn't even like eating them. It's basically just killing them.
But then they see this little kind of piece of metal iron flint.
Yeah, like an iron tooth. And he's like, this is not from a wolf. And then Manny uses his tracking skills to figure out where the little girl went, the sister. And the sister is
still alive.
still alive. Manny goes in and uses a like natural cure.
Yeah, it was like a powder
remedy.
or something.
Yeah. And it works. Of course, after they accuse him of being a sorcerer and, you know, whatever. We see in a flashback that there is something that looks like a human man controlling a beast that looks...
It looks like a skag. I'm just gonna say it looks like a damn skag.
does.
It's a
And,
skag.
like-
But it is being led by a human figure that is wearing a mask. So we're like, okay, we're not looking for one beast, we're looking for two entities here.
Yeah.
Et vous, chevalier? Savez-vous devant quelle sorte de loup nous sommes?
La seule certitude en ce qui concerne la bête, c'est qu'il ne s'agit pas d'un loup.
He gets shut down and is told that the king is tired of this, tired of the failure, and so he's sending his
Sergeant at arms
Yes.
to take care of the job.
I mean, it's been 2 years and like many people have died, and like now it's like gossip across the country and everything.
Yeah, it's real
So
bad.
the king's like, I need this squashed. Like, I need this
Yeah.
done. So they send the head of arms over, and he's a despicable human.
Awful.
That guy comes in, is totally uninterested in actually doing his job.
No, not at all.
He
Yeah.
only cares about this because it's a like national attention level story now, and
And the king has taken some flack.
yes, in context of this broader, like, people are going, hey, do we need an aristocracy right now?
Gas prices and wolf attacks
Yes,
were the
exactly.
same.
This guy just goes and kills a random wolf and is like, you were a taxidermist, you've obviously done fake stuff like the furry fish.
What up, YouTube? Today we're getting people with a furry trout.
Psych, gotcha, got you, you dumb
Prank YouTube at it again.
boy.
It's like, here's how we solve the problem. You're good at taxidermy. You are going to turn this wolf into a beast.
Espérez faire croire au roi?
Mais non, Fronsac. J'exécute sa volonté.
So we get a montage of the taxidermy happening, which was like a little much for
Very
me.
unsettling.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Monica Bellucci is like kind of acting as this guy's therapist.
La bête est morte. Tu devrais être content.
Tu veux que je te dise un secret? Le terme n'a tué qu'un loup. C'est un imposteur. Et moi, je suis son complice.
You had to create a monster and lie to the entire people. Oh, you're in love with this girl? Let's have sex.
Yeah.
It is discovered that he's done a portrait of Monica Bellucci. He reveals this to his sister, the Countess, and says, look, he's running around on you. He's no good.
Before Fronsac goes back to Paris, he goes to say goodbye to the Count, I think the Count's daughter.
On m'ordonne de retourner à Paris. Mais il ne tient qu'à vous.
C'est un bon voyage.
She has gotten the two portraits, but her brother is there, the one-armed jerk face. And then, oh man, I forget what the term is, but there's a term in sports where like somebody like nudges you and you like, you know, like
Oh, a flop.
Yes, that
totally
is what
flopped.
happened. So they break up, basically. And he goes back to Paris, and they reveal the beast. The beast.
Which looks like
It's
like
a Pokemon.
It is
He
a
made a
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Oh my.
Darth Maul.
Which is also like true of even like modern times where like a serial killer will like stalk a town and then they'll just be like, we caught him, we killed him. If anyone else gets killed, it's a different kill.
No, that's exactly it. This is identical to like a noir detective story.
Yeah.
Where the bigger story is that the police don't want to solve the crime. They want the newspaper headlines. Meanwhile, all right, hold on. Thread, plot.
The sheep and the puddle have to come in
So
here.
so this is when the sheep and the puddle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing we learned, we see the lady and the lamb who is drowning in a small pond.
This is like halfway through the act.
Is that not where it started? I thought that's where it started.
That's we paused at one point.
Okay, let's go back then.
Yeah, so they're like, beast attack's done. Psych. There's a sheep. There's a puddle. Check out this maiden. Do you want to talk about the maiden?
She was just trying to help a little sheepy
sheepers.
boy, little sheepers in the water,
Sheepers creepers.
trying to get it out, and then.
What? What the heck?
Yeah, it's a warthog. I think it's probably like some human masters have like surgically made this or something.
But the sheep is okay.
That's what's important.
It looks
Right.
like an animal.
It's
in a
clearly
costume
an
to
animal.
me.
It's making animal noises.
Right.
It sounds like a boar or like some sort of like larger lion
Already-
animal.
Yeah.
And you hear a whistle.
Yes.
And you specifically hear like a dog whistle. So what my guess is it's like a modified wolf.
Yeah.
So she gets eaten by the beast.
Lamb gets out, I think.
The lamb seems safe.
The sister, the Marquess, is in a church, and Monica Bellucci actually visits,
Yep.
sits with her, and is like, hey,
Forsac really loves you, though.
I know that we have someone in common, but he wants you. Like, this was just a gig for me, but he actually wants you.
Yeah, but he loves you.
Like,
he talks about you in
wants
his
you.
sleep. Like, he
it's
loves
a-
you very much.
Yeah, you're fine.
And this
Oh, he shouted
works.
your name, in fact,
This-
when he was sleeping.
Right.
Yeah.
This works 100%. Totally nailed the guy who loves you. You should give him another shot. And she's like, all right, I'm gonna finish praying now.
So he comes back, they kiss, the father or whomever
Goes down to the root cellar.
to get wine for them, and never comes back.
Boards are getting ripped up and
Locks are
thrown
being
out.
broken, and so this is happening in the basement, and they're just above it, and so they're like trying
Really
to
cool
like
shots.
figure out where it is.
Hell yeah.
Okay, full on beast. Full on beast.
Then this is when we actually get to see even more of the beast.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's like a monitor lizard-looking stegosaur. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
so-
wild.
See the
We can see
open
he's
mouth.
wearing a mask.
The open
Yeah.
mouth and like fake teeth and everything like that.
Underneath, it
still
has like
see
a mask
fur.
or something on,
Yeah.
and like wolf eyes.
Yeah.
I'm saying lion.
I agree. I think it's a lion. And so my suspicion is, it is the brother who
He's
is.
too evil.
Yeah, it's also Vincent Castle, and come on. Has he been a good guy in any movie? I think it's the
Ocean's 13, kind of, a little bit.
We still have
An hour.
left in this movie, and we just saw the creature, and we just saw a little bit more of the person that called it back. But I'm having a good time.
I am too. It is still a little slow.
It's slow. You have to have a little bit of patience, but the visuals
Beautiful.
help lead the way for sure.
Yeah.
And shouts to the costuming department.
which I feel like we always hit on, and maybe that's actually a point to be had of like, costume designers are always,
Overlooked, yeah.
they're always doing it, they're always overlooked, and like,
killing it.
even
across
in
the board,
even
yeah.
in like Mordecai, like You've got amazing costumes and shit like that. Anyway, I'll say one thing that I'm hoping for.
What?
I am hoping that there are more bad guys than just the Beast and his master.
I want it to be the sister. I want Vince Cassell to be a red herring, and I want it to be the sister.
That would actually...
I don't know if that actually makes sense.
That would kind of rule, absolutely. No, I'm just saying I want a body count. We've been promised a lot of action, and honestly, it has not been a lot of action.
All I get to talk about, because I don't remember any of this movie, any of the machinations, all I remember is full Soul Calibur. And I need that to be true when it comes down to it.
I'm really excited to see the hunt, and like, because that seems like what most of Act 3 is gonna be, is the hunt, and I'm excited to like see what they do and see Manny be a total badass and that sort of stuff. So Act 3.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to see more pumpkins explode. That'd be dope.
When last we left our heroes, they were riding off to go do a final confrontation.
Yeah, to do the final hunt.
With the Beast.
We got some fights this time.
We start this act with Manny and Fronsac go out to hunt the Beast with our other boy,
the Marquis.
The Marquis.
We see Manny in his full Native American regalia, like with the face paint.
They mess up the Beast pretty good. Like they shoot it, stab it.
They have a series of really cool, elaborate traps set up.
That all work correctly.
They like release a cage to trap it, but it's only made out of wood, so the Beast instantly breaks out of it and grabs the Marquis by the arm and drags him for a very long time.
Oh! So the Beast is injured coming out of this fight and retreats. Manny tracks the Beast back to his cave lair where he finds the same guys that he was fighting way back at the beginning who were like part of the hunt for the Beast. This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted a box. Yeah!
Oh, man!
Yeah! They're so good at like making his hair whip back and forth during combat. He gets distracted long enough to get shot by the Beast's master.
Yeah, but Fronsac can still come and rescue him.
Well.
Okay, he might. I think he can pull this one out.
I think. He's sliding. He's sliding.
All the blood.
So many leaves.
Probably fine, guys.
Yeah.
Totally cool.
So Fronsac finds him.
Yes.
Brings his body back.
Cleans it. Figures out cause of death is this bullet.
A silver bullet.
That is signed.
Idiot, you don't sign your silver bullets, or at least don't use those on people.
Don't sign the murder ones, dear the police.
I did it. Don't do that. So now, knowing that it is the Count, he's like, oh no, this is happening.
Actually, he like takes care of the body and then goes and raids the death cult's like hideout.
That's a good, sorry.
Sets it on fire, kills many people.
So he goes on a roaring rampage of revenge, and it kicks ass. At this point in the movie, I am loving it. There's a sequence in the hallway that is basically just him smashing people into the hallway.
Oh, at one point he's literally like one guy just goes back and forth.
Oh, this is a whole thing.
I love a death cult. This sequence is entirely about him just going completely ripshit.
Yep.
So he goes through this manor. He finds the lair underneath.
Yep.
Actually sees the Beast, right?
Yeah.
He like falls in the grate.
And I think that's when he leaves.
He leaves because reinforcements are coming.
And also he has to burn Manny's body at dawn. So while he's burning Manny's body, the head of the church shows up and Fronsac is like, how long have you known? And the head of the church is like, I don't know what you're talking about. So the nobility know about it.
Yeah. Or at least the church knows about it, which is kind of wild.
And then he gets arrested.
Yeah.
Fronsac does. And then Sylvia shows up.
She shows up rocking the freshest look, as she always does. she reveals to him her true purpose here, which is that the head of the church sent a letter to the Pope being like, got this great idea, gonna start a cult.
Yeah, the King of France is not respecting the church nearly enough, so here's what we're gonna do.
Got this great plan.
Death cult.
Death cult.
But
he's a go-getter, he's a self-starter.
But for the church.
But for the
church.
For the church.
Funded.
Yep.
Death cult.
And then the Pope's like, no!
Absolutely not. The head of the church is like, I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it anyway. And so the Pope dispatches crack agent Monica Bellucci.
Kind of keep an eye on things. And try to figure out, I think, who exactly is involved in all of this, because it's clear that some of the nobility is involved, but not exactly who.
I want a spin-off about her.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Just
she
all
seems
of her
so
adventures.
like, she's like a secret agent for the Pope.
Yeah.
And
Posing as a madam. Then she's like, I've told you too much. Also, I already poisoned you. And he goes, oh.
Okay, so the titular Brotherhood is the Colt Boys.
Marianne, vous ne me comprenez pas. Le chevalier de Fronsac est décédé.
Wait, he died?
No, he got poisoned?
Yeah.
If this is the ending of the movie, I'm gonna understand why you walked out upset.
So we hard cut on his like disgusting dead face. Just stuff's coming out of it, because it's like usually sometimes you're like, are you really dead? This guy looks super dead. Oh, haunting.
Real dead. Then we cut from that to a mound of dirt. In case we were like, but is he like really dead? Oh no, he's like in the dirt dead. People are putting flowers on a mound of dirt.
Yeah,
like
flowers
oh, okay.
on the dirt dead.
Oh, okay. And sure enough, Romeo and Juliet happens, and she comes back with a couple of helpers with the antidote to dig him back up and keep the revenge going.
And then nothing else happens.
Except for an alarming scene that I disliked a great deal. And Frontsac's still alive, and he's still so pissed.
Area man kept entirely alive by anger.
Yeah.
All this movie has been doing is giving us lots of reasons that we would want to see all of these folks perish horribly. Our boy Fronsac basically now knows where this lair is. He knows that it is a secret society confirmed by Monica Bellucci.
They weren't hiding it very well.
They're having like an actual cute like secret meeting after everything. And then he just shows up and he's like, hey, I know who all y'all are. And then he just starts naming them in the most Bamf move ever. Call them all out. Yes. Name names.
The cavalry comes in as well. The guys who got taken off the beast hunt
originally
in the first place come in and start just shooting the shit out of them, which rips.
And then the part I did remember from the movie that definitely came true, Vincent Cassel goes ham with his Soul Calibur bone sword.
It is also then reminiscent of the threaded cane in Bloodbourne, which clearly they just watched this movie front to back constantly when they were making Bloodbourne. I mean, like, it is literally, the default outfit just is that.
Yeah.
They get into some serious, awesome fights where eventually Vincent Cassel not only gets slashed in the throat, but then stabbed right through the heart.
Is her name Ivy in Soul Calibur? Sorry, I'm still on
I think
this.
it is.
I think it's Ivy.
I think it is Ivy. Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. Can you?
Let us know who you main in Soul Calibur down below.
Yeah!
Oh!
They went back to the beast's lair and discovered the truth that it was a lion or jungle cat of some
variety,
some sort that the brother brought back from Africa
and trained to be a killer.
Horribly maimed.
Yeah, it was a bad time. So they end up killing the beast. Out of mercy, because it is clearly injured and also clearly in pain.
It's a surprisingly tender moment, which I liked. Right? It's like maybe the real beast is man. The revolution is happening. The Marquis, now old, he has written down his story, he has told it, so people finally know the story of the beast.
The real story.
The real story.
Because he was there for all of it.
Then
gives himself up to the revolution to be beheaded.
And then we find out that Fronsac and Marianne have literally sailed off into the sunset in a very on-the-nose boat. They give Manny kind of finish that burial at sea.
They do that.
And
then it just ends.
And then it just ends.
Twice.
It does end twice.
The movie ends twice.
This movie is so gorgeous, and so the editing is awful. I don't know how else to because it crossfades to random colors and other shots just at random times.
Or it'll crossfade for someone to just travel 20 feet. There were a couple of cool editing moments, because what we are watching and witnessing is the Marquis retelling the story.
Right.
There are some cool moments where you see a transition of a young Marquis looking out the window, the sun sets, then it's nighttime, and then we go back to old Marquis as he finishes up telling his story.
Overall, it was a beautiful film.
Yeah.
The cinematography was really spectacular. The costumes were profound. And the acting was really good, and the writing was very funny. It didn't need to be that long.
Didn't need to be that long.
I can tell you precisely one scene that I definitely would have cut.
Didn't need to have that scene.
No.
It's very 2001. It's exactly its time in that it's still shot. It's not shot on digital cameras, but it is edited digitally. And so it feels really, really wild. Exact same vibes of Queen of the Damned.
So I could see why it is that someone would have sent it. I can also understand the absolute outpouring of emotion that we got from y'all when we said that we were gonna pick this movie, because I actually did, there are a couple of scenes I could have done without.
Clearly.
But other than that, it was a beautiful movie.
Put Mark Dacascos in more movies right now.
Period.
That movie you're shooting right now, get him in there.
Yeah. A la cuisine.
A la cuisine!
Due to recent events / my entire existence, I was personally in the mood to see any movie where a woman kicks a significant amount of ass. I haven't seen any of these, actually, so I just kind of want the excuse.
First in is Sucker Punch, which I don't think we have to defend on being in the dad box.
Oh, who sent that in?
Sam, Alec,
Steven. Never
Thank
trust
you.
someone with 3 first names.
Oh, Lori Petty and Ice-T's classic with Malcolm McDowell. Tank Girl. Speaking of European directors that were given American films, so Catwoman, Halle Berry's masterpiece.
Yes.
I hate this movie, so please vote for it and ruin my day.
You know what to do. And finally,
Angelina Jolie's Salt.
I had to give you some more good Jolie feeling.
Please cast your vote for which of these movies we should watch on Patreon and ruin our lives next time.